Everyone, again, it is time to find out what's today's verse. Let's check it out and see what we have today. Okay, so that's Chronicles, Second Chronicles 16:10. And it's been another long night. But regardless, I'm still blessed, and I hope that you are too, or at least that you know that you are. If you got air in your lungs and you got food in your stomach, you are blessed. So regardless of what else is going on in the world. But Second Chronicles 16:10. And Chronicles, I read from like First Chronicles earlier in the week or last week, and pretty much I found out that, or as I mentioned, Chronicles is just the history of the Israelites in chronological order. So that's pretty much what this is going to be too. 16:10. Let's find out for sure. Okay. Okay, there's a story. I'll read it between verses 1 and the whole thing, 1 through 14. Okay, so it says, but in the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha, king of Israel, attacked. He started it by building a fort at Ramah and closing the border between Israel and Judah to keep Asa, king of Judah, from leaving or entering. Asa took silver and gold from the treasuries of the temple of God and the royal palace and sent it to Ben-Hadad, king of Aram, who lived in Damascus, with this message: let's make a treaty like the one between our fathers. I'm showing my good faith with this gift of silver and gold. Break your deal with Baasha, king of Israel, so he'll quit fighting against me. Ben-Hadad went along with King Asa and sent his troops against the towns of Israel. They sacked Ijon, Dan, Abel, Maim, and all the store cities of Naphtali. When Baasha got the report, he quit fortifying Ramah. Then King Asa issued orders to his people in Judah to haul away the logs and stones Baasha had used in the fortification of Ramah, and used them himself to fortify Geba Mizpah. Just after that, Hanani the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said, because you went for help in the king of Aram and didn't ask God for help, you've lost the victory over the army of the king of Aram. Didn't the Ethiopians and Libyans come against you with superior forces, completely outclassing you with their chariots and cavalry? But you asked God for help, and he gave you the victory. God is always on the alert, constantly on the lookout for people who are totally committed to him. You were foolish to go for human help when you could have had God's help. Now you're in trouble, one round of war after another. At that, Asa lost his temper. Angry, he put Hanani in the stocks. At the same time, Asa started abusing some of the people. A full account of Asa is written in the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa came down with a severe case of foot infection. He didn't ask God for help, but went instead to the doctors. Then Asa died. He died in the 41st year of his reign. They buried him in a mausoleum and that he had built for himself in the city of David. They laid him in a cryptic full of aromatic oils and spices. Then they had a huge bonfire in his memory. And that's the end of 2 Chronicles 16, 1 through 14. The specific chapter was 10, and I'm going to read that one in a second. But the whole section was about a king who tried to go to another king for help. But instead, he should have believed in God and known the history of God with the people of Israel. Like they're saying in here, Israel's had a lot of fights with other countries, the Egyptians and other places. And even though the other places had massive armies, God was still the protector and allowed Israel to win. So if this king had came to God and asked God for help, God would have helped him. But instead, he looked outside of himself for human help. And he asked another king to help him fight so he could be protected. And that's a good message in general for humans, all humans. Believe in the miraculous. Have faith in the unseen. If you need help, first come to God. And if you come to God, usually you won't need help of a human. If God decides to make a human help you, then sure. But come to God with all your problems. That's what he's basically saying, that you can come to him with anything that concerns you and get help. And that's the way God wants it to be, where you rely on him for your help and your strength. Every human struggles with that. Of course, you see a problem and you want to try to fix it for yourself. I like to fix problems for myself. But I'm growing even more as the years go on to turn to God for my help, because he is the miraculous doer, and he's the one who can make anything possible. So I've never seen a time when he's let me down. I've always been well taken care of by God, and I appreciate that. Now, to get to the specific chapter, this specific verse, should I say, it says in 2 Chronicles 16:10, at that, Asa lost his temper. Angry, he put Hanani in the stocks. At the same time, Asa started abusing some of the people. So, Asa pretty much got checked. This prophet is coming to Asa and telling him, why did his specific words were, you were foolish to go for human help when you could have had God's help. So he's mad. Asa's mad. So what he does is he gets angry and he starts abusing people and treating people wrong out of his anger. And that's a huge subject right there in itself. It is a subject of abuse. I've talked about this weeks before, of the subject specifically of abuse. So I could go down that route. There's so many routes, but I'm gonna try to sum it up in the best definition of the statement. So it says that Asa lost his temper and he got angry. So this can just tell us to watch our mood. Don't just start treating anybody any kind of way just because that you're upset at something that happened to you. I mean, that's a human emotion, where you get so mad at something and then you just turn around and start treating other people awfully. Don't do that. Let the anger cease within you. Let the anger not pass on to someone else. Because if we just spend our lifetime taking our anger out on this person, and that person takes the anger out on the next person, I mean, we're just going into, that's why it's a lot of hate that floats around in the world as of today, as it is now. We're all pretty much upset at something. When you, like I've mentioned before, when you're young, you're careless. You pretty much don't have any responsibilities, any care, and you just see the innocence of the world. But as you grow, sometimes humanity can harden a person, where you look around and you don't trust anything, and you're just saying there's no love in this place, and you just have a sense of this is not how it's supposed to be, and almost like a sense of deception within yourself, like, oh, this isn't how I was when I was little. Why now? My eyes are wide open. I see what is really going on. So one of those things that influences humans as adults to realize that, it's a cold, cruel world sometimes, is that they run into people who are angry, and that angry person treats them bad, and so on and so on and so on. So it's up to each of us to fix our mind. It's possible to turn yourself from being angry. If you are somebody who struggles with being angry, you have to, first of all, be aware of it. It's like a 12-step program. I don't know what the steps are in the 12 step, but I guarantee that one of those steps are confessing that you do have the problem. I think that's the first step. Acknowledging you do have a problem with anger. You have an anger problem. It's established. What do you do when you get angry? You go out of control. You, like They said King Asa did. He started abusing people because he got so mad because he did something wrong, and now he's going to abuse the people that he's supposed to be leading. So if you notice that you get mad, you accept that you are an anger addict or whatever you want to call it. You get mad and you take your abuses out on other people. And that's the first step, acknowledgement. Second step is, I acknowledged it, so what am I going to do about it? So you have to find out, what is your reaction after you get mad? Do you just get so steamed and heated that it feels like your brain's about to explode and you got to release it somewhere to somebody? Then, you just work out what you would do instead. You have it foreplanned in your mind. Anytime that there's levels to this, it's levels to my anger. I can feel when I'm getting ticked off just a little, and then I'm almost halfway to my highest point, and then I'm extremely to my highest point. I'm already there. So while you're at the first level, this is the best chance of you cutting it off at all. Cease your mind. Go away from the situation that you're at. Find peace and solitude somewhere. Have something near you that can automatically calm you down, whether it be a song you love or whatever it is. Always have something near you that you can go to quick that's going to calm you down, or step away from the situation. And if you found that you skipped over level 1 and you went to level 2, then, start fixing the thoughts in your mind, because you're in the situation. There's only one more step to your extreme anger where you're going to start abusing people, like it said. And you got to just find the strength in yourself to say, God, help me with this anger problem. That should actually be the step number 1. Don't think you can fix it in your humanity, because if you could, you wouldn't be doing it in the first place. Some things like drug addictions, all that stuff. You can hear many stories throughout the world of people addicted to all kinds of stuff. And some people don't have to go through a 12-step program. All they have to do is say, oh, I trusted in God. I leaned on God. I made God my God. And he walked me through all of this. So yeah, you can just pretty much rely on God. Just like this all ties in together. If you have an anger issue or any kind of problem, addiction, anger, the best chance of getting free from it is through a relationship with God. Turn to God, like they were telling Asa he should have done. He was trying to get help from other humans, maybe even help within himself, but all he had to do was reach out and ask God, and God would help him. So ask God. God will show you the steps to be free from your anger problems. And just treat people nicely. It's many ways to combat your addictions or problems, especially in the area of anger. It's all about fixing your mind, because anger is an inside thought issue. And if you open your mind to realize that you love everybody and you treat everybody as the next person as you would treat yourself, you don't abuse yourself, so don't abuse anybody else. It's that simple. What else can I pull out of this? That's about it. It was just asking, it was just saying how Asa, he lost his temper, and as he was angry, he started abusing the people. And that's not right to do. Don't take your anger out on someone else, because you're just creating a world of hate. It starts with you. It starts with all of us, each of us. It starts with me. All we have to do is check our emotions and try to be calm in all situations, whether somebody's purposely trying to get us mad or whether we just mad because we messed up on our own end. So that is pretty much it. It is 10:30? It's about time for me to go to sleep almost. So have a blessed night, and I will talk to you, what's tomorrow, Sunday? I will talk to you tomorrow, and until then.